I'm surprised that when I had a discussion with one of my friends yesterday, and in this discussion, we were talking about that the LIBOR-OIS spread. Now, very first thing I would like to point out that LIBOR is now dismantled. Worldwide, IR derivatives. Now, IR derivative means interest rate derivatives are priced according to RFRs, which is risk-free rates. As of today, around 10 RFRs are there in the whole globe. God willing, with the due passage of the time, we may have more also. Now, having said that, the prominent include SOFR, Secured Overnight Financing Rate, ESTR, Euro Short-Term Rate, and variety of others. We really need to understand that when we talk about LIBOR, then LIBOR is dismantled. And for a minute, in a dreams, we assume that some product is still priced as per LIBOR. For a dreams, even then, we cannot compare LIBOR with OIS. The reason being LIBOR is a cross-currency product, which means you have a currency, say GBP, and you wanted to take an exposure in dollar. For that, you're going to be taking a LIBOR. On the contrary, OIS, which is overnight index swap, is a local currency exposure. I'm not denying that LIBOR cannot be taken in asset. This is very wrong. But having said that, in LIBOR, we were not having the bid and ask. We were having a simple reference rate, which is also known as standing rate. Having said that, in OIS, we are having bid and ask, which means you can have your asset, you can have your liability. Example, I am a company in Singapore. I have 100 million Singapore dollars in my books. And I believe that Singapore Central Bank may cut down the interest rate, all hypothetical assumptions. So what I do, now I would be using, I left with two options. Option number one, I can go with FRA, which is forward rate agreement. Again, that determines that at what periodicity, 1:4, 2:5, 3:6, so on and so forth. Alternatively, I can take the OIS route, which means I can hedge my exposure. On the contrary, if the same position is that I have 100 billion Singapore dollar in my books, but here LIBOR makes no difference to me because I don't want it to change the exposure of my currency. I really need to understand that the LIBOR OIS spread